Hey there, welcome to the Marketing Drive. I'm Dan Adelko. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about skills that every digital marketer needs to have in 2016. I wrote a post last year on LinkedIn that got quite a bunch of good feedback about the 10 things every digital marketer needs to know in 2015. So now in 2016, I figured I would just talk briefly about what I think the most important things are, things that I use myself and skills that I try to nurture and foster for myself as we both work on client work and our own projects. But the 10 things that we need to work on as digital marketers, because I find that digital marketers are often siloing themselves into one specific type of skill set. I'm a social media marketer, so therefore I create content, but I don't write blog posts and I don't do design. I don't know anything about conversion tracking. I feel that that's a very limiting point of view for anybody from a professional standpoint, and then also from a skill set standpoint. What I like to advocate is a T-shaped marketing skill set. So it's shallow and wide across the entire spectrum of digital marketing functions, everything from strategy, communications, campaign development, design, dev, and implementation, maintenance, and conversion optimization. And then in each one of those, what you want to do is say, yes, my skill set specifically is in communications and social media engagement, and that's where the T comes in, where you dig kind of deeper into that. But you have an awareness and a knowledge of the entire process. Skill number 1 for 2016, understanding HTML and CSS3 code. Understanding it and understanding it properly, it's really not that hard, but it seems to be one of the biggest things that many marketers shy away from. Code is beauty. I'm a coder. Some people may say I'm not a good one, but whatever. Just a joke. But every marketer needs to understand how this stuff works and why it's important. Point number 2, this is a new one and it's very important. Understanding the mobile landscape and user demographics. In 2016, we're seeing a massive shift to the mobile device. That's not, we're talking a lot about micro moments. We're talking a lot about having your computer in your hand. This is a computer with a phone. It's not a phone anymore. That changes the landscape. When you know that your user base and the people you're trying to connect with are on the road 90% of the time, you need to craft for mobile first. So understanding how that works and what that means. Point number 3, conversion tracking, and understanding the technical side, not necessarily the code side, but understanding how these conversions work technically and how you implement them into your marketing, communications, strategic planning, and how you marry up organic and paid efforts. Number 4, understanding paid advertising platforms. This is, again, I think I talked about this last year, but this year it's just as important, if not more. There is no free lunch. I think 4 of the top 10 most valuable companies in the world are based on social media and internet technologies. It's time to get around the fact that there is no free social. There is no free SEO. There is no free content creation. So, understanding how the ad platforms work in concert with what you're doing on an organic and a communications level is super important. Point number 5, design. Beautiful things make people react, and appropriately beautiful, effectively beautiful. So we're not all designers, and that's great, but there are tools that we can use to become designers. Tools like Canva, which allows you to create beautiful, creative from templates, even if you're a marketer that is not a professional designer. Over on the iPhone is a great one for typography and text. But that, I think, is an important skill to understand and appreciate, and use the tools that you can as much as possible. Point number 6. I'm stalling on that one. Oh yes, understanding of analytics. What are analytics? Analytics is information over data. Our world is consumed with data as the world becomes more entrenched with big data. Google, Facebook are all very big data operations. But what you need to be able to do in 2016 is understand how to read that information and how to give it a sense and a meaning. Point 7. Let me think for a second, because this is totally off the top of my head. Oh yes, point number 7. How to write. This is a very common objection for digital marketers that I hear very often, which is, I'm not a writer. I can't write that stuff. I don't know anything about that. I don't write blog posts. I do social or something like that. I'm just using an example. But writing is a core, fundamental professional skill, and it's a skill that you nurture. And I write a lot. I may or may not write well. Again, that's opinion-based, but I do write frequently. I write business proposals. I write business-focused things. I write creatively. I write blog posts. I write scripts for video as well. I'm not a professional writer. At least I don't consider myself one. However, it is a skill that you need to embrace, engage, and the only way to do it is to do it. Start blogging. Start writing. Point number 8. In terms of 10 things every digital marketer needs to be able to know in 2016 are, emerging channels. Being aware of emerging channels is becoming more and more important. We used to have a lot of time to think about how we would try this emerging channel. And now things are moving a lot more quickly. Snapchat has been around for a while. However, that emerging channel needs to be understood, identified, and where it fits into this whole funnel and flow. Where was I? Was that point 9? No, that was 8. Anyways, I forget. If I do 11, I do 11, because there's lots of them. Point number 9 is understanding conversion optimization. How does it work? What does it mean? What are we trying to do? Conversion optimization is something that every marketer can benefit from, because almost every platform allows you to run A/B tests or multivariate tests. They can be simple, they can be complex. You can use, on a website side, VWO.com, Visual Website Optimizer. You can use Improvely, which helps for marketing campaigns, PPC campaigns, and various inbound channels, including Facebook, I believe. Twitter and Instagram and Facebook all allow you to set up variants of your marketing channels and campaigns. Understanding how to do this and why it is important is a critical and almost non-starting skill. Point number 10, possibly 11, I can't remember because I am driving, is understanding how to develop a conversion funnel. And as a marketer, I know that people are going to say, well, I do brand marketing communications. Yes, you do. However, if you're putting a message out there without a specific purpose and without a goal to communicate to that potential audience, you're going to be spinning your wheels once you generate a lead. The saddest thing in the world to see is a lead list that is completely unnurtured with no plan around it. And it sadly happens far too often because, one, it compromises the effectiveness of your marketing program, thereby compromising the effectiveness of the business, and it compromises your credibility, and it possibly compromises your job. If you're just collecting leads and not converting them, or having a plan to convert them, then you're going to run into some kind of trouble. All right, well, that's the marketing drive for today. 10 things every digital marketer needs to know in 2016. I probably missed a bunch. And again, I apologize for losing count, but, again, that's what happens when you're almost completely unscripted beyond putting some thought into it before you get in the car in the morning with 3 kids. All right, have a great day.